You want to say anything to anybody?
Hello.
Now from the west, see?
Yeah. Well, at least you can have a pic. Woo-wee! Looking for. You can have a picnic. See, there's a. Can you read that sign where the yellow light is blinking?
No. Can't quite see. Sorry. That's too west. That's too I can't run that.
Lighting an area when lighting is on. Lightning in area. So they get a lightning warning. Yeah, this area of Florida, I'll tell you, there's a lot nicer than I expected it to be. And it doesn't feel as crowded as other parts of Florida. She's a doll. She's very, very fast. The mother had to track her down. Cuban cigars from my nephew.
Cubanos?
Wonderful.
Yep. Thank you.
Hopefully it gets good gas mileage. Yeah, it's a nice car. Nice car. And you know, they don't say, they used to say, this car is rented by budget. And enough people got killed in Miami that they took those off. Well, the guy said to me, he goes, the cup handles are...
With a push button.
Oh,
Wow.
nice.
You can also do it on a remote too.
Okay.
It has it here. You trunk hold.
Yeah, these new cars, I'll tell you, it's amazing what they can do.
And this here, if
Yeah.
you hold this, it'll start it.
Wow.
It's a remote start, okay?
Wow. So if I'm running
That's cool.
and I don't want to waste any time, you start the
But
car,
when you
jump
get
in and go.
When you get in though, what you have to do is you have to put your foot.
So you get to know all about these cars.
I don't know too much, I just know a few things. It's like I know a few things on certain languages, that's about it.
All right. Triptych 10,007. I'm going to have to figure out how to do the triptych here. It is 10:48 a.m. Sunday morning, July 6th, and 10,778 is the odometer reading. I'm on Route 9. I'm on Route 19 North, and I'm at some sort of air base here, and there was sheriff trolling. What they do to get you is the speed limit's 60 miles an hour, and then they slow it down to 45, right? And most people have a difficult time when they've been pacing at a certain speed. That's how the police get you. So, as George Carlin says, the U.S. is just one strip mall after another, coast to coast. That's basically what we are. So I guess if you need to buy anything. So I don't see any signs for this airport. So, yep, that's where cruise control comes in, I guess. You can set it. Because, yeah, I had a cop in back of me. He was watching traffic. I was the last car, and then he gets in back of me. And I could tell he was pacing me. And so I made sure that I did not go over 45, even though I was in front of him. And then it's funny, because there was a minute where my foot was, it hit too hard. I was like at 48, and I just took my foot off the pedal. And I noticed when I kept it at 45, he then just screamed by me at it like doing 70. And then he went up to one of these turnarounds, and all he does is at this section of 45, he goes up and down this 45, because that's what they're looking for. They look for a reason to pull you over, and then from there the cops look for a reason to escalate it to a felony or drugs or something else. Oh, is that, whatever. Oh, you've got warrants. So, all right, but I don't know the laws in Florida, so I'm gonna put this phone down. I don't need a ticket. I'm just trying to figure out where I am. Okay, so to the left is Fort Island, Gulf Beach, Route 44 West. So, but I never. This is, I think, the start of Crystal River, because I see some of the names saying Crystal River, and I know that's a town up here because Dan and I were talking about it. Truist. I have no idea what that means. Okay, see, I'm just going 46. Now, I rented this car, and this car has nothing intuitive about it. See, there he is. Yep, that's all they do, man. I know how these guys operate. And, oh, is that dude black? I'll bet you if I was, I hate to say that, but no, it's not. But look at that, that's abandoned, for crying out loud. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, Florida's an interesting place. I like Florida. I'm not sure I'd want to live here. I've spent some time here. I have not been on this road before, I don't think, and that's why I'm doing it. All right, now we're down to 40. All right, so I got to pay attention here. See ya. Okay, this is Inglis, Florida. 45 miles an hour, so I'm sure there's a cop here waiting for somebody to go too fast. On 19 north, must share 98 for a little while here. And I don't know the name of the town where I'm going, but I'd say I'm about 50 miles. Still have 50 miles on this road. Next service is 35. And then I'll work my way inland, because right now I'm following the Gulf Coast on the west coast of Florida. Duke Energy, I just passed Duke Energy, and they had these huge transmission lines. I just didn't have time to pull out the camera. I'm very hesitant to film just because I don't want to give the cops any reason to pull me over. So, nothing to see here. So, wow, 65 now. So that's why we're going to like a highway now. That's why they said no services, 35 miles. All right, leaving English, going north. Cheers. Just flashed. See, that truck's flashing his lights. See, that's what I like about people. You know, you don't, up in the Northeast now, people don't really do this anymore. So I'm going to put the camera down. It is right in the middle, the rearview mirror. Yep. Boy, I feel so much safer with him there. Okay, the road I was supposed to take is... It's funny, that truck just went anyways. There was a barricade up, said detour. This way. It's alright. Take one road versus the other doesn't mean any difference to me. I think the speed limit's 65, but I slowed down to 55 when the cop was there. I didn't want any issues at all. Okay, so I'm looking for eventually US 129 North, connecting to Florida 47 North Northeast. But it wants me to take a couple roads as you know, optimal directions. And the Google Maps originally, when I told them where I wanted to go, it had me, I basically am saving an hour doing this route instead of the one it recommended. Alright, just rained for about 5-10 minutes back there, spot showers. And that's what I was saying to Dan. I was like, as I go north, I'll get out of this rainy season weather. I assume so. Going through Georgia, and then I'll go up through the Carolinas next. That's a nice house there. In the middle of nowhere. I am entering Chiefland, Florida. Slowing down to 55. And looking for a sign. Now it's 45. Looking for a sign for a detour sign. Strictly enforced. Oh. I better get down to 45 then, right? Somebody hiding behind the bushes. You know, I was thinking, you know, this weather is very much like Oaxaca. Hot and humid. Rain this time of year. So it says I have 336 miles left for gas. Okay, gonna sign off here. Oh, that's nice. Must be some sort of community building. Or 302. That's the cheapest I've seen in quite a while. You know, the thing that I was worried about is when I went to take that right turn, I always worry about my tires. And there was gravel in front of that, and I don't know how good these tires are. It's a brand new car. This town seems to have seen better days. It's not bad, but a lot of abandoned. Got Big John's Supply. Uniques, Furnitures, Collectibles. This is what is, I think, City Electric. Okay. This is, I think, commonplace in the United States now. Abandoned small cities. Levi County Tax Collector. Gotta have that. That office is open, guaranteed. Alright, I'm gonna sign off here. I'm thinking this is where I'm gonna be turning. Maybe. Okay, there's a sign right there, US 129. So, Ralph's Burger House. Closed. Okay. It's 12:30 on Sunday, and everything's closed. I think they have blue laws in Florida where you can't sell alcohol on Sunday. Yeah, so much of the South is like this. Right like this. For sale. Yep. Yep, I'm sure it is. Okay. Signing off. But this is what I love to do. I love to just drive and explore. Never know what you're going to find. Unfortunately, I stayed 60 out in the country here. I stayed that extra day with Dan, so I'm going to have one day less to stop and do whatever I wanted to do. In fact, it's pretty much going to be straight driving to make it up there in time. Okay, signing off. Solar panel farms on both sides of me. Let's see if we can see them through this. See them all? Just acres and acres. This is the place to do it, Florida. Such a pretty area, though. That's what happens in the rainy season. Get lots of green. Lots of green. So I'm going the intersection of 47 North. Alright. That person in the camper in front of me is starting to pick up his speed now. If there are hills out here, it might remind me of Veracruz, because well, they don't have this type of, but past a whole bunch of cows, lots of cows, palm trees, some areas here as well. There's an oldie. Just entered Trenton city limit. Oh, I had the damn thing reversed. What an idiot. That's the Gilchrist County Jail and Sheriff Department. It's very pretty out here, but definitely out here. But I looked on the map. I mean, there's cities everywhere. Meaning you'll have supermarkets. Like, this is a major road. This says Junction 26. So this is not my road. I thought this would be 47 because it looks kind of major. Look at that building there. Very nice. Board of County Commissioners meeting facility. Scott's Markets, locals. Got a Capital something bank. Never heard of it. There's another look at that building there. Definitely an oldie. Lots of institutions here. And I gotta piss like a racehorse. Ooh-wee. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to the signs back then. I hope this is still 129. This is the only danger of not paying attention. Junction 47. There we go, baby. 47 North. 100 years, Gilchrist County. Got a Dollar General. Yeah, the Dollar Generals are in a lot of these towns. Not dollar. Okay. Oh, okay. 47 North. This is what I want. All right. Now, if I had, like, if I was just going cross country and I had all, I mean, I'd explore that town. I'm sure there's something interesting there. Okay, so it's 55 miles an hour now. And I'm on this for 41 miles to Lake City, I believe is the name of the town. Trenton Farmers Market. Yeah, I noticed they're picking melons. All the fields are full of melons. And they have the trucks. And usually they bring in migrant workers for this. That's probably why that Spanish church was boarded up on a Sunday. Because today's Sunday. Maybe Trump isn't allowing the... I don't know. I don't really pay attention to it that much. But I do know they're still coming because with the guy who makes my watermelon water, I went there one day and Eddie was gone. So they already picked everything. Yeah, Eddie went to Georgia, I was told, on a 3-month visa, 2 or 3 month work visa to work on the farms. And Eddie, his girlfriend, and they have a 2 or 3 month old baby. Eddie's about 19, I'm guessing. She's probably a little bit younger. And the baby's probably only about 3 or 4 months. Well, no, what am I talking about? It's more than 3 or 4 months. It's less, I asked them and I forget. Maybe 9 months, I guess. It's not walking yet. But, yeah, and she's going to go up there at some point, and they're planning on staying. And I'm like, how are you going to do that? We don't know. Okay, good luck. Bye. There, BC it said. Wow. Hope I got that on film. That was like gilded copper. Very nice. There's corn going in here. And melons. Well, I missed it, unfortunately. Couldn't get the phone up in time to see a truck full of melons going by. Just past the Santa Fe River and the Santa Fe Park. We're at the Cornerstone Baptist Church. Jesus saves. Still got this boy in front of me. Yeah, I like to use him to draft. His speed is kind of erratic, so I have a pretty steady foot. This is the intersection of 27 and 47. And what's unusual is odd numbers are north and south, so I don't know how you can have a 27 and a 47 intersect. So, all right. Gas is $2.99 here. That's pretty good. That's the cheapest I've seen. If I needed gas, I'd get it. Yeah, so you gotta go really slow here. Just said Lake City is 20 miles. And saying it's 95 degrees. Fort White Elementary School. Sheep or chicken or pigs. Nice white fence. Yes, sirree. No, not so nice, this section. Needs to be painted. Right, this is Columbia City. And they have their Dollar General. And $2.93 for gas. That's pretty good. Cash. Okay, I just filled up for $2.99 a gallon. It's only $7.50 of gas, so I've gone a little over 100 miles. 125 miles. So I am on my way. I'm on Route 47 North. I'm going to connect at 441 North. And I'm going to head to Waycross, Georgia. And outside of Waycross, Georgia, it gets a little bit like I got to figure out. When I hit Waycross, I'll know I have to take stock of my directions at that point. So, yeah, very wide roads here in this road, very nice. Just past 75 north and south, the interstate. And I thought Lake City was intersection of 10 as well, but I don't remember. But 10 is the road that goes across the country east to west. 75 goes north and south. But doesn't matter. Wow, look at that house down there. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna sign off. Yeah, just enjoying the drive, having a great time. I haven't driven in a while, so it's just enjoyable to get out and see what the country looks like. Wow, look at that house. Oh, beautiful. Nice ranch. Some beautiful homes here, but some real shit boxes too. This camera, it's while I'm driving as well. I passed a couple trailers that looked like they're about to. People are living in them, but they looked like they were about to just break in two. So I filled up because I assume Georgia's going to be more expensive than Florida, but we're going to find out because I crossed the border in about 40 miles. Okay, signing off. Some railroad tracks down here. Just went over them. This camera was not cooperating, so it's 45 miles now. I'm on 441 going north, coming up to the intersection of 10, so I guess 10 and 75 are separate. And this is a, it looks nice, but it's a rough neighborhood. I mean, a lot of places out of business. It's, it reminds me of Georgia, very much like Georgia. It appears to be a predominantly black neighborhood from what I've seen. Everybody's black. But that doesn't mean anything. Past the Lake City Police Department and Fire Department. Looked like it was a fairly new building. 41 North. And it's funny, the computer says 441, and they'll occasionally say 441 truck route. But I'm just going to stay on 41. It's going north. Nice thing is this car has a compass right there. Oh, this stupid camera. Damn it. Okay, I'm going to sign off here. Nice thing is this car has a compass, so you know which direction you're going. So you don't even need to know what road you're on. You just need to know you need to go northeast. So this road's 55 miles an hour. Looks like we are now getting out of the city and going into the country. And I'm on my way to the Georgia border. And I think it's only about 30 miles from here. So when I cross 10, I think 10 is pretty close to the border. All right, signing off. I couldn't get the camera on time. 3 pickup trucks in a row came by. 2 of them were hauling fifth wheels, which is a camper. And these things had to be as tall as that bridge. Now, I'm going 55. That could be a cop up here. But this is Route 10 up here. I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to go straight. But the vehicles in this country are just so large, so huge. Past 10, and this gas is going to be more expensive because it's off the highway. It says $3.19, and cheapest I have seen so far is $2.99, which is what I paid. Stephen Foster State Park, Big Shoal State Park, 9 miles ahead. Okay, got a railroad track, so wonder if this is the Amtrak line. I looked at taking the train, but the train from Tampa only goes every second or third day. So, it was 300. I looked at 2 different days. One of the days was $550 for no bed, just a seat. And I think tomorrow was Monday was $331, if I remember correctly. And that's just, I wasn't even sure they had Wi-Fi, and so I figured with all the taxes and the fees on this car, it's going to come to about $350. The gas, I'm estimating I'll spend $400 on gas if I go 2,000 miles, based on 25 miles a gallon. So we'll see how accurate I am with that. But with the train, you don't have this freedom where I can just pull over and do whatever I want if I choose to. Unfortunately, I didn't leave a lot of time, but at least I'll have a car when I'm up north for a few days. And I've got to make another plan because I have to return this to Logan Airport on Sunday, the 13th of July 2025. So, not sure what I'm going to do. Don't need to think about that right now. These are the things, as you're driving 2,000 miles, you'll think about these things subconsciously. This is what I like about driving. You get the answers. Okay, signing off. Homes out here. Some big ones. That's not the bigger one. I just passed a couple big ranches. And a lot of for sale home for sale signs out here as well. A lot of crappy little brick homes that I just passed that can't be more than, I don't know, they were disgusting. So, I mean, I'm thinking like $50,000 for some of these houses, and of course I'm sure I'm way off. I mean, that's not even a house, that's a trailer. Yeah, I mean, they're not terrible, though these aren't terrible compared to the ones I just saw. I mean, that's tiny. Look at that guy with a pool next door. Cool, man. Cheap living. There's a railroad track here, and there was a cement road that went up, humped over like this. And the stop sign was knocked down, like a big truck had taken a corner and taken it out. And there was a sign with a secure gate saying biosphere. Now I forget what it said, but it was a pretty ominous sign, like, look out. It was like, watch out. So we're coming up to the junction of 246, Columbia County. See, this is tiny compared to the two that went by me. Those two, the trailers, were like 50% higher than that. Yeah. You have to wonder who the heck lives out here. This is like, I don't even know what people would do for work out here. Maybe utility people. Wichita linemen. Kelly's RV Park. Just passed a really cool looking house. It was almost rustic. Okay, this is a Georgia. I'm going to put the camera down. That is a Georgia inspection or Florida inspection site. So trucks must come through here instead of taking the highway. So I don't even want the camera up. During historic White Springs, Florida. Just came over a bridge. Looked like the railroad bridge had been replaced. And I remember reading about an Amtrak train that went off the bridge collapsed on them. Not recently, but For all I know, it was that bridge back there. There we go. Those are Florida houses. Now this town's seen some better days, man. This town has seen... Got a DG Market right here. Must be a Dollar General Market. I'm going 32 miles an hour. And I'm slowing down because I think the speed limit keeps dropping. Black Bay, fresh Florida seafood. E&H Tire. 3rd Street. Yeah, when you start getting into these towns that have 1st Street, 2nd. Yeah. Fat Bellies. Oh, that looks good. Closed. Yeah, we're going to start getting into some barbecue territory now, which I'm excited to do. I'm not sure how many days. Look at that small little building. Not sure how many days. I'm going to go to the place that I really liked in North Carolina 7 years ago, called Hersey's in Burlington, if they're open. Yeah, I'm going 29, 30 miles an hour. Yes, sir. Because, you know, these cops, by the time you see them, be too late. Interesting. So 75 continues north past 10. So this road must run parallel to 75, I imagine. The Stephen Foster Folk Center. And this must be part of the Florida Trail because I've seen people with backpacks. Or the Appalachian Trail. No, the Appalachian Trail doesn't come down here. Appalachian Trail stops in Georgia. Yeah, people going into the park. This is a cute little town, though. You know, the nice windy roads, beautiful trees, some nice architecture. 298. Munchie's Food Store. A lot of Baptist church. Wow, look at that oldie. Had one of the cast iron fences around it. Wow. See, this is why I love driving the back roads, man. You'll see pieces of history. The reason Amtrak has such poor service in the United States is they don't own the train lines, the freight companies do. And that's one track. So what will happen is the Amtrak train will be going along, and they'll get word that a freight train was coming the opposite direction, and they had to basically pull over and wait where there's a dual section of track until the other train came, because the freight trains get priority. And that's what I was telling Dan about, why the Chinese train system's so great. The Chinese, when they put in their high-speed train system, they knew that the old tracks, they're going to have to rip everything up and replace it. So what they did instead, it was genius. They'd go into a city and they'd take a part of the city, usually outside the city, that was virgin land, and they'd in essence create two cities. They'd create an old city and a new city, and the new city would be centered around the high-speed train, and the old city would be surrounded by the bus stations and the old train station and the freight trains stations, and so they would be able to go outside the city and put in new track, straight new track, without having to do a lot of, I mean, they had to do some, obviously. They had to do a lot of bridges and a lot of, they had to prep the land so that it could handle these trains. But they weren't, you know, having to rip up entire cities to put in a new network, or worse, dig up the old train system and put in the new ones. Because the problem is, it's like in Amtrak in the United States, you know, they take tracks that are winding roads, and you can't use that if you're going 250, 300 miles an hour. So that car passed me a few minutes ago, and just subconsciously I'm just trying to keep with them. And okay, I'm going to sign off here, but I was thinking about that and wanted to point out why the train is so miserable in the and also, you know, a train. The Amtrak doesn't have Wi-Fi. I mean, what are they thinking? Okay, yeah, this feels like Everglades land, you know, swampland, the bayou. All right, bump coming up. Signing off. Maybe I should wait for the bump. Yeah, it was quite muggy this morning at Dan's, but it was only 80 degrees. But it was humid. It was muggy. But this car is saying outside it's 92 degrees right now. So yeah, that's what happens when you get away from the ocean. Now we're fully inland right now. Yes, the speed limit's 60. I'm doing 59. See, so this is what the Amtrak would have to find, is find a section where they had to wait. And one time we had to wait when I came up from Texas to Missouri. We had to wait like 45 minutes or an hour one time, waiting for this freight train. We had to wait several times. We had to wait for this show train that was coming through, which I got literally a half a second of it, because yeah, it'll take years and decades, and if the train ever comes back in the United States, I doubt it ever will. Not easily, that's for sure. Maybe the Chinese will build it for us. It's hot, and I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but my eyeball, the road looks like it has water on it, and that's how you know it's hot. That's the heat, baby, coming up off the pavement. So hopefully the camera can see that, but this camera, who knows. Nutrien Swift Creek Complex. Now Nutrien, they're a publicly traded company. They compete with Mosaic. Look at that. That is fertilizer, baby. That's one of their main things, is fertilizer. Now I'm sure they do other things, so I don't know what they do down here. But their stock is ripping. Those stocks have been languishing for the last couple of years, but the last 2 months, and I was in it, and then I got out of it, sold out. So I'm not a long-term holder of Nutrien. Probably would be a good play right now, though, but I'm just gonna try to trade in and out. It's very interesting. I don't know if they're working, but they have all this equipment, hoses. Yep, that is that is hard. Difficult stuff, mining of any kind. Deer Crossing, it's called. Oh, nice log house there. Yeah, they got a bit of industry up here in addition to Nutrien. Coming into the town of Gasper, 35 miles an hour. And coming into this town, it's seen better days. There's some buildings just falling down, man. Trump Vance. I think that election's over, guys. Cash for cars. Wow. Like a plantation home on the right behind the trees. Couldn't get it. There we go. Using you can tell the guy's Mexican. He's using his weed whacker to cut the lawn. At least he's not out there with the blade there. Oh boy. I'll tell you, my head. Foodway. That's probably how I'll eat. I'll just buy something at a supermarket somewhere. 129 North 49. Okay, so I'm gonna take a left here. Everybody else was taking a left there. Gator Chevy. is out of business. Wait till you see the Chevy. They've had better days. Wow. This town is barely holding on, guys. Barely holding on. Jennings and Statenville. Yeah, wow. Good. And they all have family dollars, right? And everybody's got to wave the flag. Wow. Oh, cute little downtown. And it's all abandoned. Look at this. That's a church. Got to have a bar. Oh, H&F restaurant. Jasper City Hall. Wow. Wow, that's the fire and rescue department. Holy cow. It's amazing they have one. $3.09 for gas. Liquor store's open. You know what's amazing? I have not seen a single cop since I saw that sheriff. Since I saw that sheriff trolling for people on 19. Maybe there have been cops and I haven't seen them, but I haven't seen anything obvious. They even have an animal control officer. Wow. Wow, that's sad. Wow. Yeah, this town's seen better days. But it actually, it doesn't look like, it looks more like a town that's like been hit by zombies, you know? It's like a ghost town. So these are the type of cities you'd think that would have a cop out trolling for tickets, you know, money. Money, money, money. And they have a Chinese restaurant, of course they do. Chen's Chinese restaurant. Burgers, Mama's Burgers. I think she said. So the road is splitting now. I'm taking 41. I am going north, but now it says I'm going west. Doesn't matter. This is the road I need to be on. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Yep, it's you can live for pretty cheap money out here, I would imagine, if you can maintain your own house. Where you run into probably difficulty is trying to find handymen, I would imagine. Maybe local ones, but I mean competent people. It's probably hit or miss. You know, you go to a town, there's somebody who's capable, or there isn't, and it's, you can see, you know, people live out. There we go. That's her daily activity. Getting out and cutting these lawns. Now this is like Florida and Georgia, man. This is how they... Now they're gonna sign off. There are, yeah, people are running over the turtles, unfortunately. That's not a turtle, but I just passed one. There are some really nice homes out here. Not too old. But a lot of things falling down. Just passed a place called State Line RV Repair, and he's got a bunch of units in his lot for sale. Probably people who went to get their RV repaired and never paid him, and he kept the vehicle. That happens, I imagine. People think, oh, we'll do it if it's $5,000, and then they ends up being more money than they think. Yeah, so this must be near the state line of Georgia and Florida, I imagine, since that place was called State Line RV. Some really nice ranches where they've got beautiful fences and beautiful homes, but most of them are just not, you know, just not so nice. Just trailers, or they look like trailers to me. That's a irrigation. And that thing walks right down. That thing's automated. It's amazing what technology. In this car, I just found out, somebody just darted right across the front of my car, but they were way ahead, and this car braked. Like all of a sudden I'm going, all of a sudden it breaks. Okay, we're coming into Jennings. Now, I'm also coming into Valdosta, I believe. Now, I slowed down because I wasn't paying attention. And I don't want to get a ticket in Jennings, Florida, or Georgia, or wherever I am. 35. So that's what I'm doing. There we go. The Bethel Primitive Baptist Church. Wow, 4 lanes in Bethel. Holy cow, we weren't even getting that before. And I am starting to get a little hungry. It's 2:42 p.m. Eastern Time. And this definitely must follow 75 because I keep seeing signs for 75. 289. Wow. So 289 is much cheaper. So that tells me Georgia must be, even if this is Florida, Georgia must be cheaper. Oh, a bunch of meth people in the parking lot there. Couldn't turn. Yep, staying 35. United States Post Office, Jennings, Florida. So we're still in Florida. But usually when you get closer to a state line, the gas price reflects what is near the border because people cross borders for gas or liquor or whatever items they can buy, or if, like New Hampshire doesn't have state sales tax, so a lot of people cross the border into New Hampshire to buy whatever they want to buy for tax-free. Gonna park there. Okay. It's definitely much calmer living out here because much slower paced life. Absolutely. Probably the big day is going to the Walmart. Yep. This is the border because I just passed something that looked like a rest area. And what's strange is I didn't see a Florida State Trooper back there. And I thought they had a law that they put state troopers in. Now look at the difference in Georgia here. They had a because any Florida, I'll be driving through Florida at like midnight and there'll be a state trooper in the parked in front of the lobby for safety. So I don't know what the speed limit is, so we'll wait till we get a speed limit sign here. Assume 60 until Lake Park is 6, Valdosta is 18. And I was in Valdosta a long time ago, and I think it was a nice enough city. I think it's a college town, but I just don't remember. It was 40 years ago, probably 30 to 40 years ago. See, this is what some people do. So they've got these beautiful. That one's not. I mean, it's nice. Don't get me wrong, but it's not like spectacular. Like I've seen a few of them. But we're in Georgia now, so Georgia is they use a lot of brick for their homes, as do the Carolinas, like in the remote areas. Interesting. Growing something. All right, signing off. Live long and prosper.